Hey, come on in and welcome to A Win is a Win podcast, where sports and everything else collide. Comfortable? All right. Let's go, Dr. T.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Well, we are in the second round of the NBA playoffs, and it has been some nail-biting series, and we are going to get into all of that. But first, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast, and don't forget to tell somebody else to join A Win is a Win. Hey, listen, thank you for the new subscribers and our loyal listeners. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when a new episode drops. Hit the thumbs up or the like button, whatever you choose to call it. It just keeps us in the algorithm and lets everyone know, hey, there's a little podcast over here that you might want to check out. And don't forget you could catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcast. Listen, we have a lot to get into, so we are not going to make that intro too long. You already know what's going on. When you pull up over here, it don't cost you a thing. Listen, the rumor mill, you guys, is already getting hot with all the potential blockbusters and the draft strategies and all that good stuff. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But first, we got to get straight to these playoff action games. That's right. It was a lot going on, and I got to start. Yeah, my Cavaliers took a L, you guys. Yep, that's right. Indiana Pacers drew blood against my Cavs. That's right. Um, I really don't know what happened. Sometimes, sometimes you can't underestimate your opponent, and I think, you know, in hindsight being 2020, you got to look at certain things and say, okay, all right, yeah, these brothers didn't come to play, but the Pacers went over there in Cleveland and secured that W, and they won 121 to 112. Now you had Nemhard just had basically a standout performance with 23 points on an efficient 7 for 10 shooting, including going 5 for 6 from the 3-point range, buckets, and also dished out 6 assists. You had Halliburton. He just pretty much orchestrated the offense just beautifully. Can't deny that, finishing with 23 points and 13 assists. Siakam and Naismith both chipped in with 17 points apiece, and Siakam also grabbed 8 boards. And then Mitchell, of course, he did his thing, 38 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, doing his absolute best to be Spider-Man and obviously try to carry the team, 6 boards. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Jarrett Allen with the force, he's going to do what he does inside for sure. 25 points, 14 rebounds. Mobley added 15 points, 9 rebounds as well. And that, you can't deny that they did what they needed to do, but sometimes doing what you need to do against an underestimated team is just not enough. And this sets a fascinating tone to me for this particular series, especially with the Cavs, who had a dominating first round sweep against the Heat, now needing to respond quickly, got that, home court snatched away. So it's interesting to see game 2 is set for tonight, back home in Cleveland. And I'm telling y'all, listen, that that atmosphere is going to be off the hook, because we got to even this thing out now. All right, y'all came in here, y'all snatched the rug from up under us. All right, that's enough. All right, we heard you, seen you. It's up now. And you got to remember, the Cavs coach just got Coach of the Year. by all of his peers. All right. So that's a testament to their regular season success. But the playoffs, y'all, that is a different monster for sure. And the Pacers are proving to be, listen, we're not only a formidable opponent, but we came in your house to show you that we are. You know, a win is a win. Ain't that what the podcast is called? All right, y'all, let's get over here to these Knicks. That's right. They also went into Boston and said, oh, okay, y'all go back home and eat some of that clam chowder soup for a little bit, warm up, because we left y'all cold flat, and they did it in dramatic fashion. That's right. And it went into overtime. But sometimes you can live and die by that three. And I think that's what Boston basically found out. Yeah, you're going to have to D up. All right. Y'all going to have to D up and play some basketball. Like, I get this is what you all are known for. But the Knicks, once they figured out that y'all could not drop them threes like you all were trying to do, it was up. That's right. 108-105. Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year, pouring down 29 points and 5 assists. And he just is not going to stop his playoff run for nobody whatsoever. OG was a major contributor, 29 points, hitting 6 threes, and also grabbing 4 boards and 3 assists. Cat added double-double with 14 points, 13 boards, and Hart also recorded a double-double, 14 points and 11 boards. I know the Suns is somewhere like, damn. You know, what we should have did, see what had happened was, why we even do that? Because Mikal Bridges, while scoring 8 points, made the game stealing clutch from Jaylen Brown in that few seconds at the end of the game in overtime. And when you look at how Mikal Bridges is playing, this is the Mikal Bridges of old with the Suns. But we'll get back to the Suns and what they need to do a little bit later. But for the Celtics, Jason Tatum led the way with 32 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists. Jaylen Brown scored 23 points, grabbed 7 boards, but also had that crucial late turnover too. Now, White contributed 18 points and 7 assists. Now, it was a tough loss for them on their home court, compounded by historically poor shooting. And like I said, you live and die by the three. I don't know, if that cockiness, like, oh yeah, we saw about, 7 or 8 that we didn't get, and that was, we could have did better. No, that's not going to cut it all the time. You know what I mean? It's not going to cut it. And 45 threes. Now, some people may contest that. And again, this is why I like these type of conversations, and it will beg the conversation to say, well, you barely beat a team. The Knicks barely beat a team, and it, 45 3-pointers. Like, how you even let them get that off? But that's their signature. It's not about allowing them to even get off 45 3-pointers, because you already know what Boston is going to do. It's not about that. It's about, is this how you are going to play basketball continuously against a team that's just, showing you in the fourth quarter, like, all right, cool, we're not going to let you do this continuously. Now, I get it. You did allow 45 of those to pop off. But at the same time, is this the hill that you're going to continuously die on? Even though you did get the chip last year, and even then barely, because if you do go back to the finals last year, their coach had to switch up what they were doing in order for them to win the chip. They could not live and die by that 3. He had to switch the game plan up in order for them to win that. So interesting to see. Game 2 is scheduled for Wednesday again in Boston. So what's going to happen? Are you going to go down 0-2 and let the Knicks expose you again? Or are you going to even this thing back up and go back to the Garden? It's also worth noting that some individual accolades for the Celtics, with Jrue Holiday winning the NBA Sportsmanship Award, I believe it was, for the second time, and Peyton Pritchard being named the NBA Sixth Man of the Year. So, while they did lose, they pick up some congratulatory items during that particular L. But the team's success in the playoffs right now, besides the awards, in my opinion, is what truly matters. Let's go out here to the West. Now, let me tell y'all something real quick leading up to this. I said in my last episode who I would like to see, and this one came into fruition. I said I wanted to see the Nuggets in OKC, and I got my wish. And the other thing I said is I wanted it to be pure cinema, and oh boy, was it. Yes, it was. But let me tell y'all something. I also said that anybody who wanted to argue with me about Joker could do so. And I'm still waiting for anybody who wants to argue with me about Joker. Please do it. I'm still waiting. Because 42 points, 22 rebounds, and 6 assists. The man is Magneto, Superman, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Thanos. He's the head coach, the assistant coach, the GM, and the owner all in one. Put the whole team on his back and said, listen to me, this is how we gonna run this. That's what he's doing. He don't care who's on that sideline. Listen to me. I don't care how many points we down. This is what we getting ready to do. The Denver Nuggets are locked in, y'all, and they are ready for battle. Took the OKC Thunder, those inexperienced young boys, and they did do what I thought they would. Oh, they kept up with them. They did do that. Okay? But the Nuggets said, hold on now, in an absolute nail biter. They came out over the edge, 121-119. Put on a monster performance, okay? Jamal Murray added 21 points and 6 assists. But if we are going to talk about the hero for the past 2 games, Mr. Aaron Gordon, who scored 22 points, including the game-winning again shot, 3-pointer with just 3.6 seconds left on the clock, and also grabbed 14 boards for the second time. Now, Shai, also the MVP candidate, again, regular season MVP candidate, had 33 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. And then you got Holmgren, who contributed 18 points and 10 rebounds, and Williams added 17 points. The Thunder, who swept the Grizzlies, remember, in the first round. Now, they showed that they could go toe-to-toe with the champs a little bit, and I said that they could. I said they had the wind. I said that they had the endurance. I said that they had the physical capability to go up with the experienced team. But if you remember, I said that Joker is going to show up when it mattered, and he is not going to allow the Nuggets to lose. And you also had Westbrook playing the Swiss Army knife role. He showed up where he needed to be and play his position when necessary. I mean, this series to me is almost making itself out to be one of the classics already. Are you tired of overpriced groceries and limited options at the supermarket? Because I know I am. Well, try Misfit Marketplace, where every box is packed with delicious organic produce at up to 40% off retail prices. That's right. You get your fresh fruits to colorful veggies. Misfit Marketplace delivers quality ingredients straight to your door. Visit misfitmarket.com and use code POD20, that is POD20, to get 20% off your first order, and tell them that Dr. T sent you. Eat well, save money, and join the Misfit movement today. Now, I think the game that everybody is waiting to see, simply because Ant-Man already said that he couldn't wait and he wanted to play Golden State. Well, here we are. It's going down tonight. That's right. The Wolves are taking on the Warriors. Game 1 is one of the most highly anticipated games in this second round of the playoffs. So, as we record this action tonight, and as this gets underway, here's the question that's going around. Is Ant going to now send KD home? He has now sent LeBron home. And is he going to send Steph home? Well, I'm going to reserve what I think about that, if he does or if he doesn't, until a later date. But that is the question. Keep that in the back of your minds. And remember that I said that on this episode, whether he does or not, we are going to spin the block and come back to that question. Now, we don't have the stats for this one just yet, but we'll be sure to break all that down after this game is in the books. The Timberwolves impressively eliminated the Lakers in the first round. And listen, let me tell you something. Ant-Man was not afraid to get all up in LeBron's face, all up in Luka's space. So do you think he is going to be afraid of anybody on the Warriors? Just as equal, do you think that for a second that Green is going to back down at all from Gobert? No. So, yeah, this is going to be another one, in my opinion, that is going to be pure cinema. The Warriors, like I said, are seasoned playoff veterans. Okay. And after that 7-game series, hard fought 7-game series, they are not coming off of rest. So that is the only thing that I see that will get in their way, but they do have the experience. Okay. You got Curry, Draymond Green are seasoned and poised for this. They are breaded and ready to go. So it's in their DNA. The series, is going to, again, be youthful exuberance against pure veteran experience in my book. And it's anyone's guess how all of this is going to play out and unfold. So we will definitely see after tonight who might have the juice, who might have the edge. But if we look at how these playoffs have been going, nail biters so far, especially within the second round. All right, so as the playoffs have been captivating us and have been going and have been having us sit on the edge of our seats or having friendly banter or all-out arguments, the NBA offseason is already starting to heat up for the teams that have been eliminated and are watching either from their living rooms or from their vacation homes in Cancun or wherever they may be vacationing now that they are out of the regular season and did not make the playoffs. So what we want to do is look into some of what is going on. First up, the NBA draft. The name on everyone's lips, we all know, Cooper Flagg. Yep, the Duke star has officially declared for the 25 NBA draft and is widely considered the favorite to be selected as the number 1 overall pick. Now, if you look at his skill set, right, and how he plays, this is why he has a lot of the GMs, and a lot of the GMs have all of the scouts out there pretty much clawing teeth and nail. And for the teams in the lottery, like the Washington Wizards, you got key dates approaching, like May 12th, the NBA draft lottery, which will determine the all important draft order. So that's a key date for me because, you know, we know how it goes, right? Poorest record gets the top draft pick. The G League Elite Camp is also on the horizon, running from May 9th to May 11th, offering more of their prospects coming from their camps a chance to shine as well. So if we want to talk about the free agency though and the trades, because now this is where things could really get crazy. Now look, check this out. The Houston Rockets are promising team after their postseason run, and you know, we pretty much excuse me, saw them win 52 games, but you know, they took the L to Golden State here last week, and pretty much, in my opinion, are at a crossroads. Now, Stone, the GM, and Udoka have some big decisions to make. My thing is do they trust their young team? You got Sengun, you got Jabari Smith Jr., Thompson, Eason, Green, and last year's lottery pick, Reed Shepherd, to develop into a championship contending team. Just hold on now. Just think about that for a minute. Or do they look to make a splash for an established all NBA caliber superstar? Now stay with me for a minute. Names like Kevin Durant or Giannis Antetokounmpo, however you say that man's name. I can never say it. Now, the Rockets certainly have the assets with, I think they have 5 tradable first round. Yeah, they have 5 tradable first round picks in the next 7 years and a stable of young players on a few controllable contracts. So if you think about that, a key financial decision to me would be this: Fred VanVleet's $44.9 million team option. Declining it could offer more flexibility, potentially to re-sign him to a longer, more team-friendly deal. They also have extension eligible players, Jabari Smith and Tari Eason. So I would expect some movement there, and retaining a veteran center, Steven Adams, who was a little bit impactful, but when he was healthy, also seems to be a priority. But now if you want to talk about Kevin Durant, is some reports out there that floated a potential blockbuster that would send him to the Houston Rockets. Now, in this scenario, check this out. The Suns would receive Fred VanVleet, Cam Whitmore, and a haul of first-round picks. Their own 2025 pick, their own 2027 pick, and a 2028 lottery protected pick. Now, I don't, I don't necessarily think that Durant necessarily fits that, but his scoring prowess is exactly what they might need to elevate to what you would say a dog or at least a true contender status. Now, for the Suns, who control several of Houston's picks, this could be a way to recoup the assets if they decide to make a pivot. Who knows? But another blockbuster trade scenario, it wouldn't stop there. You could also potentially send Giannis to the Raptors if he were to become available. Now, the proposed trade will see Giannis and Pat head to Toronto, with the Bucks receiving Ingram, who basically the Raptors reportedly acquired and extended in February. You would have Barrett and a treasure trove of 4 first-round picks, 2025, top 2 protected 27, 29, and 2031. Now, the Raptors, according to what was it? The two-piece have win now intention center around, who was it? Scotty Barnes, and adding 2-time MVP. Like, if you add Giannis, right, would instantly transform into a major force in the East. Now, for the Bucks, to me, if they feel their championship window with current core is closing, this could be a way to kickstart a retooling phase, if you think about it. Because, what core do they have? It's getting a little tight. It's starting to close up. So if they play it right, this might pop it off a little bit. You never know. And I mean, you got other off-season stuff like the Clippers, all right, and James Harden, who has a player option for next season. But I think his decision will significantly impact their off-season plans, and the Los Angeles Lakers are facing a center crisis, which, I mean, all right, when have they not? And are exploring, a couple of options, trade options with names like, who did they put out there? I think they were talking about Jaren Jackson, I believe, at one point. And of course, the broader free agent market. I think they may need to go overseas, though, in my opinion, because if the future is Luka, you're going to build around him. You're not building around LeBron anymore at 40. So I think maybe a better option would be to look for a big from overseas, perhaps. But you have a free agent market. A broader free agent market will be fascinating with big names. Of course, you got LeBron in there, you got Kyrie in there, you got James Harden in there. If he declines his option, is possibly available. The situation in Phoenix with Kevin Durant and the team's future direction is also a major storyline to follow. I mean, it's too much going on. It's out there in the off season, and seems like Luka is going to stay a Laker. It looks like he's intending to resign from what he says. From what he is saying, and his intention to stay in LA. Okay, so now what cards do Pelinka and Buss play now? Because now you're less concerned about building a team around LeBron. All right, so what? He has a son that is going to be playing Arizona. You are less concerned about the theatrics about that. We already heard that story. We already went through that scenario. We went through that narrative. You got Bronny into the league as a Laker. He's on a G League. All right, cool. That is just for the show of it, because at this point, LeBron is, in my opinion, less concerned about a chip, more concerned about legacy, records, and stats on his way out the door. So now you need to play smarter and move your chess pieces a lot harder if you want this Lakers team to be in a conversation of contention and not just in the conversation just to be in the conversation because they are the LA Lakers. That's it. Because right now they're not in contention for anything other than conversation. And the only reason why they're in the conversation is because you have LeBron James and because you just made a blockbuster deal in the middle of the night. That is all. It is for no other reason. So my question would be is where do you think Durant is going to end up? Giannis is going to end up? And do you think that the Rockets are going to keep that young team together, or do you think that we're going to see some big movements in this offseason between trades, free agency, and the draft? Let me know in the comments what you think, because this surely is a lot to digest. I'm talking about from on the court playoff battles to the strategic chess moves of the off season. It's like the NBA never sleeps right now, and we're here for all of it pretty much. But before I get out of here, before I wrap this up, I just want to say thank you to all the listeners. Growing a podcast is hard, especially when you are getting content and you are living your regular life. You guys have made it very fun to do this, and interacting on YouTube, interacting on Spotify and Apple. You never miss an episode. You share your thoughts. We get into the poll questions. You follow on social media. So from my lips to your ears, thank you. Thank you. Let's get into this poll question. Considering the second round playoff action so far, we've seen a surprising 1-0 series lead. Our question for you is, which 1-0 series lead in the NBA playoffs so far did you find the most surprising? The Pacers over the Cavs or the Knicks over the Celtics? Head over to our social media. I will put that link in the pinned comment. It will also be on our YouTube channel. That is a win pod. We will link that one. It will also be within the feed on our Spotify and Apple. Go ahead and get involved in that. Place your vote. We'll discuss the results in our next episode. That's all I have time for today, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back with some more NBA action. That's going to end it for this week's episode of A Win is a Win. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. And don't forget to tell someone and tell somebody else to join us over here at A Win is a Win. And when you pull up, remember, it don't cost you a thing. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts. You can catch us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Hit that notification bell so you know when a new episode drops. And guess what? I'll be back here next week, y'all. Peace.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the content, please hit follow and subscribe. And remember to smash the notification bell so you can stay up to date on new episodes. Until next week.